of this was on Menorah Day on 3/13/24 in Turkey. Howdy, folks. Welcome back. I told you I would be back. Here we go. Let's hop into the solar report while we're waiting for, well, there's not much loading up, but let's just say thank you to everybody for showing up tonight to take a moment out of your time to join this precious family for a little break, a little breathing, a little break from the world here for a minute. All right, as you can see, we are missing a bunch of data. We have 11 frames, of which there's 11 frames. So let's start with the first one where there's nothing. We have an event. It came off this side around 5 o'clock. You can see our little object right here wrapped in plasma here. Let's just go right. Well, that one. This is the next day. We're missing data from yesterday and today. So yeah, still missing data. But you can see right here, here's our object right here. It's got some plasma wrapped around it. Okay, so there was a little event today there. You can see her culprit hanging out there. Wait, let me scoot this over this way just a bit more. All right, back to where we were, picking up, moving on out. Looks to be another one right around there, maybe. Then we skip forward to 10, where we have this event coming off what appears to be the top of the sun. So, a little strange activity here. And you can see the crisscrossed kind of magnetic field lines here a little bit. So dark object right about in there. See the plasma going around it right here. It's coming out straight and then taking an angle and going around something round there. Can you see that effect? So hopefully you can see that. And then over on this side, you can see it's a bigger object with a little moon. All right, probably passing over the top of the sun or near the top, inducing some kind of activity, inducing the CME off the top of the sun, basically. So it's only a few frames, but boom, boom, boom. While we're here, you know what? Since we're missing data, let's go over to stereo A real quick to see if we have anything from that. Maybe we have a little more complete picture. Yeah, there we go. That's more what happened there. Wow. Let's go through these frames, shall we? Okay, let's go to the opening one. Now, this satellite only takes a frame per hour, so it's a little different when we go to this one. Already jumping in at 4:53, but here's that 5 o'clock event right there. I still like stereo A, even though they kind of want to retire it or whatever. They said it's out of commission, but here we can see our event going on here. And you can make out the little black moon or the little moon that's going along with it a little better. It might just be this single object, and this could be the magnetic field of it that's around it right there. But I don't know. That one looked a little bit different. Whoops. I want to go back. Just by the way this perfect round shape right here, and this thing is offset a little bit. If it were more in the middle, it would make me think that this is the magnetic field or something, but this seems to be a little bit more offset, kind of looking more like a bigger planet with a moon. All right, so there's your activity on the sun for today, the March 14th of 2024. Get them wavy lines out of there. All right, let's get on over here to the solar ham report now. Okay, big old dip in the data right there. But what we can do here is zoom on in. Zoom. All right. Here we had today this box right here, bumpy, bumpy activity. We, don't mind this thing right here. Pretend like it's not there. We had kind of a bumpy day there. You saw the activity that we were, just witnessed. Now we're crawling back up out of this B range, this, right here, and starting to climb up to C slowly there. And if it weren't for this dump out of data, I wonder what something just maybe happened here, or if we're still kind of creeping up this way. But notice it's creeping. It's not an event. It's creeping up towards M class. It's kind of odd. I wish this data dump wasn't here right there so we could get a better idea of what's really kind of going on right here. And after the missing spike a couple weeks ago, a little weary. Anyways, X-flare potential 1%. That might change. I might put that back up at like 5. M-flare 15. I would put that more like 25 because look how close we are to the M threshold already. It's naturally almost at the M threshold. All it needs to do is fart and we have an M flare. So that M flare potential should be way higher than 15%, maybe more like 60 or 70%. Let me just see our current X-ray flux up here in the corner is C6. We're hovering at C6. like I said, a small fart would make a M-class flare. All right, so I believe that M flare potential should be higher and the X flare potential as well, especially after just seeing that big object with its little moon grazing the top of the sun. Meantime, 4 sunspots, they're all alpha or beta, they're nice and calm. Over here at our KP index, we've been taking on some energy. It's nothing too big, all right? We had this bout back here a little bit, a dip in activity down to here, kind of climb back up. And lately, our last little impulse was KP3. So, some mild energy that we're absorbing, okay, gets directed to the poles, fires off the auroras. Here's our auroras down at 1, okay, so they're nice and calm right now. Despite having this little KP3 spike, this is a 3-hour increment. The next spike might be a little bit smaller. So as we continue, let me just read this real quick. Solar activity on Thursday reached moderate levels thanks to multiple minor C flares and one M1. All of the activity was centered around AR 3599, which is now located behind the southwest limb. The visible disk is left with magnetically stable sunspot regions. Magnetically stable. Thank you. I like good news. So, some stable sunspot regions, and the threat for stronger flares should diminish in the short term. Strong flares may be possible in the few days when old 3590 is expected to turn back into view. Oh, great. We got this one coming back again. Oh, boy. So, yeah. So, until AR35 is expected to turn back into view from the East Limb, more updates will follow. All right. Check this out. Over here, this image, it's not this event that's on the tracker, but look at the image that they picked out for this right here. Can you see what's going on there? Can you see this full-on blast of plasma hitting this round spheroid here? And we have like a damaged ring of plasma that's hitting it and spreading out in a circle going around it. It's one of the amazing images. I wish I could. When you click on this, it only opens the tracker. So, but that they actually picked an image that looked pretty intimidating there. So interesting how. Let's just open this up real quick. Can we, Lord? Can we have this? Thank you. So I like what's going on here. It doesn't show any CME coming our direction, yet there's one going north of us right there. See that? This is the north-south like profile. And this is looking down on top of our solar system. So strange how there's nothing coming at us, yet this impact goes up to the north of us. So there's your tracker being tracky. Nothing really to show on that one, so we'll go ahead and come back to this. Yeah, see this image right here? You can see this damage ring spreading over the spheroid behind it and this straight-on blast of plasma hitting it. That's a plasma conduit right there, coming right off. The sun's the circle, okay? Not the red part, it's the white circle. So this is a straight-on plasma conduit slamming into the surface of this spheroid object, creating this round damage ring that spreads over the circle, much like, where is this? Can we have this back, please? Oh, after the ad. Yeah, that's right. We got this. Much like this effect right here. That right there. You see how that plasma went over an invisible black sphere? That effect is happening right there in that image. You see what I'm saying now? Right here. Pretty cool. All right. Anyways, solar activity reached high levels on Sunday. That's an old article. We're done with this page. Anyways, interesting picture that they chose. This isn't what's on the tracker, but nice image, huh? Okay, let's move on. And here we are. Quiet with a slight chance of meatballs or storms. Today, geomagnetic activity is low and the forecast calls for no bright auroras. However, a change may be in the offing. NOAA forecasters say that a CME might graze Earth's magnetic field on March 14th. Oh, there's Gabe. Hi. I've been kind of waiting. Oh, good. There he is. All right, cool. Hope you made it. All right, back to my report here. So something could graze us March 14th, minor G1 class, nothing too big. We already covered the man-made noctilucent clouds, so not much more to report here. There's your little noctilucent clouds being made up in there, but nothing too much new at that. Now let's get on over to our Schumann. All right, now you can see finally some continuity here, but you see these straight lines kind of going across up there? We're still grinding at a low frequency going across right here. So it's okay though, because we're still producing a good, nice 7.83. All right, that nice green stripe going across there is what I like to see. Even down below here, this is a different frequency, 13 or 13, 14 in that range. And you see it intensify on both frequencies right there during this event right here. So we had a little bit of grinding down below. It wasn't much. It was just a small little hiccup. And then it recovered kind of well. Got a little weak right in there. See that little weak zone right there? But then recovered quite well, and we're back to a pretty strong magnetic field. Okay, so that's some good news to report right there. And, oh, Gabe, you got a gift, huh? All right, cool. You look good in blue, Gabe. Anybody ever tell you look good in blue? All right, get to the central part of this report. Boy, how do we even start, Lord? This is getting disturbing. These giant changes now in our polar vortex. We are in transition season here, getting very close to spring. Okay, spring being transition season. We're starting to see, our transitions, but this is not. I don't even know what to say. All right, you guys just look at it for a minute. I'll leave it alone. Quit moving it. We now have a subvortex right here that's over Maine right here. It is taking all this energy right where the two meet and reversing and now going this way across the United States. Just last week, we had a vortex that was pushing stuff the opposite way across the United States. Remember? It was coming down all the way down here to Southern California, Mexico border. Now the fire hose spigot angle of attack has changed even more. Okay. And now we basically have another vortex growing right here, right above Maine. Crazy change from last night. Now coming over to here, we had this conveyor belt type structure being smashed down. It got so smashed it made this V shape, okay? Now this V shape has flattened out, causing another severe vortex over here. See where this energy's coming off there? As well as another severe range there. And another vortex right here. So we have 3 vortexes going on. The main one up above here, this one has closed off. We do have a vortex full right there. We also have a full vortex right there. So there are 3, including that one. All right. So your conveyor belt got pinched off into 2 separate vortexes. It almost looks like this wants to pinch off here in a little while, maybe be another one. Meanwhile, down below, this 3-way has caused this now down below here over the mid-Atlantic or South Atlantic here. And our setup has changed quite a bit since last night. And if you guys were watching the weather today, we had some a big, tornado outbreak today, and some people died. And unfortunately, some people died, and there was a lot of damage done in Ohio and Indiana. Oh man, it's just, I wish we could really get people's attention a little bit more, but anyways, there is our drastic change in our vortex setup right there, okay? Very complex now. Looks like the dragons kind of came up here to the northern hemisphere and is curling up or whatever. Now here we're still seeing this crisscross effect where it comes down, comes back down here, swings around. See how this is connecting down to there too? And now we look at the southern polar vortex because it's starting to form a southern polar vortex now because we're in transition. They're going into winter, or they're going into fall, my bad, as we're going into spring. So quite the setup we got going here with, with this setup up here. Okay, and it's going to change our weather patterns again. Because before it was blowing against the weather. Remember, the upper vortex was fighting the weather. Well, it's fighting the weather a little more up here, but then this is going to change our transition zone. So we come to our transition zone, and now look what it's done. It's created this ridge, this bubble right here, okay? This is the air down below that's fighting that current that wants to go this way. Okay, so it's causing disruption, making things go up, down, split up, do all kinds of crazy maneuvers here in this transition zone. Then that affects our upper jet stream. You see the correlations a little bit between that and our upper jet stream. Now, this is a pretty violent upper jet now. Look how everything's all in red and pink. All right, this is getting pretty intense now. You see how this ridge is created? This bubble goes way up and back down. This is grabbing cold air out of Alaska, bringing it right back down into, the Rockies. They got 3 feet of snow. It's actually coming back off the coast and whipping back inland. Can you see that? Here, let me take the wind away for a second. So that's your upper jet streams. We got this Pineapple Express that's, look at this hot cocktail coming across the Pacific, splitting up here, going from Hawaii down, joining this upper one, joining with the lower one here at this region, kind of. Look at all the turbulence in this area. And then most of the country covered in red and pink. Now, I'm going to take you down to lower jet. I want you to watch the correlation between your upper jet streams and your lower jet stream, okay? This is where your storms are riding these currents right here. It's going to take air from way up there, bring it all the way back down. Look at this giant S coming out of Canada, back down across the plains, whipping back down this way. So some violent structure changes, violent flow asymmetry changes in this because of our drastic change at the polar. Let me take you down to the weather here. Still got a storm circulating here. Got this thing right here coming off. That'll be coming inland. Another big long one right here. This was that typhoon type looking thing that we saw yesterday, kind of branching out and spreading out and collecting energy from way back there. Also, we have this flow, this flow taking moist, warm air off the Gulf and mixing it in with this cold air coming down. This barrier line right here, this is what's causing our storm fronts right here when cold air collides with more moist air. And we had some serious tornado damage and unfortunately some deaths today from it. All right, now what we're gonna do is drop back down a little bit and come on over to our particulates and the sandstorms and just take a peek at what's going on with our sandstorms. Okay, can you see here? We've had a little, diffusing, but then right here, right where this wind is picked up, you see the intensification in that area due to the wind. So the wind's picking up a little sandstorm here in Central Africa. We got some going on over here in Saudi Arabia, residual from yesterday. And look at this. We have sand blowing. Where's that coming from? This is a body of water, so it can't be sand coming from this body of water. So it's sand coming from this sandstorm being dragged across Caspian Sea here and all up into Europe. See that plume going up into Europe right there? Meanwhile, our sandstorm we got two independent ones now. We got this one over the Gobi Desert, but we got something else going on right there too. Got a lot of sandstorms going on right now. All right. So more particulates in the air as well for water droplets to form. We just keep adding more and more capacity to the sponge to absorb water. All right, so whoa, look at this. A little bit of sand kicking up down here in the desert, Mexico down here too. All right, so let's get out of that. Come on over to the chemicals, do our SO2, take out the wind, take out the box. There's America, the country divided. Still bleeding out on that half, actually kind of clearing up in this region a little bit, still intensified in that area. So instead of evenly distributed pressure like we were seeing when this first started, it seems to be kind of regional lately. So a little bit darker in that area, meanwhile, lightening up in this whole region. We'll take a stop over at Hawaii. Yeah, still coming out of all three islands, mainly this one, Oahu, but still a little small plume coming out of Maui there, or Hawaii there. All right, here we are over China. They're about the same color, same intensity as yesterday. Looking over here at Europe, about the same as yesterday. Let's come on down to Java and put the wind back on there real quick. Okay, now we can see why the island looks purple. Most of the emissions are coming out of here and right about there, and then the rest is being dragged right down the island too. So it does look darker, but that's because of the wind. All right, so about the same as yesterday, I would say. I'll let that out there. Well, let's go check our fulcrum point over at South America, shall we? popping off pretty strong right there. About the same intensity as yesterday. Yeah, so nothing's really changed as far as pressure underneath. We still have moderate pressure. I'd say 6.5, maybe 6. All right, so there's that. Let's get on over to our earthquake report. Ooh, we just had some earthquakes. All right. Take a deep breath here. Everybody take a time out for a second. Take a couple of deep breaths. I gotta open another drink, and then we'll right back to the show. Night, Jeremy. All right, let's get back to the show here. No deep quakes in our region right here. Just off the boundary is a 4.8 down at 163 right there. Very quiet down through the south part. Very quiet all through here, really. 4.3 down at 380. Coming up to these guys right here, we have a 4.9 or 5 right there with 4.7 right below it down at 63. So a little bit of energy got relieved there, but very quiet through all this region. We had this quake here at Japan today, a 5.6 down at 53, just outside of Tokyo. Watch this region carefully, because if we see some energy being released in this zone right here, Tokyo's right there. Meanwhile, we do have a current quake, a 4.7 down at 28. Earlier we had 4.6 and couple of 4.6s right there, 4.7 right here, and 5.6 right there. So kind of where most of our activity is, kind of right there for this region. Okay, come on over to here, a little way off the fulcrum point. This is even actually different kind of terrain out here. 4.7 at the surface. Another 4.7 at the surface. Another 4.4 and another 4.4. Yeah. So fulcrum point quake. A couple of other ones out there by the Gobi Desert. But pretty quiet. Eerily quiet. Now, let's see what's going on the Mid-Atlantic Ridge. There should be a lot more activity on this place than there is. So it's good to see that we're finally got a spot here. All right, starting on with the big one, a 6.0 down at 10. I'm surprised it didn't say 5.9. 5.1, these are all surface quakes. 4.8, 4.8. There's a 5.2. There's another 5. So a few 5s. 1, 2, 3 5s and a 6. Okay, so that's where a lot of energy got distributed today, was out here on the Mid-Atlantic Ridge. And that should relieve some pressure up here for Iceland, possibly, and lessen the chances of volcanic activity there. Most of this region that's empty is probably because of the volcanic activity in that region. Very quiet down here. Didn't see anything in South America right here today. Usually we have at least a couple here, especially on the fulcrum point. But up here at the Cocos, we had a 5, okay, down at 63. And a little flurry over here by Haiti. It's too bad what's going on there in Haiti, huh? And Dominican. All right. Little mouse farts up here in Idaho, 2.9, but 2.9 up here in Montana. A little indication, a little pressure that made it a little more into the interior there. But all in all, pretty quiet. All right. All right, Lord. Well, pray that the volcano page works well tonight. Hopefully it does. Yes, the Euphrates River is almost dried up. Did you guys hear the sounds coming from underground there? All right, March 15th, 2024. Here's an awesome picture right here of, oh, I thought this was Popo. This is Ebico up in Russia there, okay? So these plumes, when we're always talking about, oh, went to 7,000, went to 4,000, did this or whatever. Here we have a little plume for you to look at. So, Ebico, explosive eruption at the volcano continues, 10,000 feet. Oh, that's a small one. 10,000 anymore? That's just a small one. Fernandina and the Galapagos Islands, still low-level effusive eruption. It still has those lava arms running down the flanks. Okay, so Popocatépetl had a blast to 20,000 feet today. Fuego had one to 17,000. That's already into the 14th, all right? So let's go, or 15th. Yeah, 15th? Yeah, see, 15th. So let's go open up the 14th and see what happened during the day. Okay, Recahanas. Magma intrusion beneath continues at a constant rate. Model calculations estimate about 8 to 13 million M3 of magma. Magma accumulation in the magma reservoir so far already reached the threshold. Actually, it was the threshold. Sakurajima, 13,000 feet. Wow, that's a pretty big blast out of Sakurajima. Ebuth, 8,000 feet. Marapi, 17,000 feet. Earlier, Popocatépetl again, 20,000 feet. Santa Guido, 12,500 foot blast. Fuego here, 14,000. Reventador, 15,000. Sabancaya, 20,000. That's a lot of pressure being released. All these volcanoes. Oh, look, here we go. Erta Ale. A new lava infusion phase began at the volcano following another shifting flux of magma. The lava resumed in the southern pit crater, generating the lava overflow of the south-southwest main lava source. Okay, so Erta Ale on the active list now. Where is the red square? Really, that's interesting. Most of you at this channel can figure this one out. Where's the red square? Oh, dear Lord. Do we really have to have tests like this, huh? And where's the rest of the report? I guess I have to pick which one's the red square, huh? It's the one on the right side. Okay, so you know your right from your left. Because several times I've told people, tilt your head to your right about 45 degrees, and they always tilt their head to the left. Like they don't know the right from their left. And maybe that's why this is on the volcano report. Interesting. Lots of big, tall blasts, okay? A lot of pressure being released. Let's get on over to our forecast. Play this. So there's our event that we just had. Watch what happens here coming up on around the 23rd, 24th, 25th. Look at this. That could possibly be quite an event there. All right, so let's get back to business. Business. Current conditions right now, this is shifted kind of more up this way. This is an old model right here. But for the morning of the 15th, noontime, still residual possible down in here. We'll see. That's the convection nighttime of the 15th, morning of the 16th, noon, convection, nighttime, morning of the 17th, noon, convection, nighttime, morning of the 18th, noon, convection, nighttime, morning of the 19th, noon, convection, nighttime, morning of the 20th, noon, convection, nighttime, morning of the 21st, first day of spring, well, right there, but staying offshore mainly right there until the nighttime of the 21st, where it starts to cross Florida right there. So watch that. That's still a little ways out there, though. Morning of the 22nd, noon, convection, nighttime. You see how all of this starts, all this is all creeping together? Watch. Boom. Noon, convection, nighttime, morning of the 23rd. This is where it starts up right here. Morning of the 23rd, noon, convection, nighttime, morning of the 24th, right here. The morning of the 24th, huge ice storm covering most of New York here. Look out right there. That's the morning of the 24th. You got snow back up in here. You have a low, and another low right here. 3 of them, and another one forming down there. So this is like 3 storms all gelling into one big boing, boing, one big long storm front. Okay, now that's the morning of the 24th. Now the noontime. So I want you to consider something. Here in New York, they're going to get ice in the morning. Then they get rain. Then they get severe weather with tornadoes possible. Okay. And that'll be the convection of the 24th. So the morning of the 24th, noon, convection. The nighttime of the 24th, you can see this low, this one, and this one back here. This day is nuts right here. The morning of the 25th, noon. Look at this right here. Perfect shape. Convection, nighttime, morning of the 26th, noon, convection, nighttime, morning of the 27th. Whoosh. See how these things go linear like that? That's when it gets dangerous. And the pop-ups out in front of them. There's the convection, the 27th, nighttime. Look at this big old 982 low. 982. Oh, geez. Ice on the backside. That's way out there, though. So we'll kind of let that go through the rest of the little cycle there. Okay, so still projected the 24th to be quite a gnarly day for the East Coast. So these models changed so drastically now because of our violent changes in our polar vortex. Okay, and what used to be kind of semi-predictable weather is now kind of hard to project and predict. Look at that stuff. That is just crazy. Hopefully we don't have something like this happen. We'll see as we get there. We are approaching spring, so that's when this weather is just going to really start to jump off the page. So there's your weather forecast, all right? So let's get on over to the spiritual report. Yay! I could feel you guys out there today going, I can't wait until the show tonight. I can't wait until this point of the show. When are we going to finally get there? Looking at the clock. Oh, God. Still 5 hours away. But we're finally here. So we made it. So let's get on over to this. We're going to use this image for a minute here. Okay, this was not in the clouds. This was captured out by the moon. The moon is actually shining on this object, illuminating the face. Okay, so it's not in the clouds. It's out by the moon. To the moon and back. Alrighty here. Let's get some order going here. Wait. We had some other stuff to look at. What was the other stuff we were going to do? Oh. Maybe we'll do it after some reading. All right, let me get the light going. Oh, everybody, take a nice, long, deep breath in. Hold it for a few. And then exhale nice and slowly. Do it again if you need to. Even again if you need to. And while you're taking a deep breath in, let me fill you with my love, joy, and peace. These are glorious gifts flowing from my living presence. Though you are an earthen vessel, I designed you to be filled with heavenly contents. Your weakness is not a deterrent to being filled with my spirit. On the contrary, it provides an opportunity for my power to shine forth more brightly. As you go through each day, trust me to provide the strength that you need moment by moment. Don't waste energy wondering whether you're adequate for today's journey. My spirit within you is more than sufficient to handle whatever each day may bring. That is the basis for your confidence. In quietness, spending time alone with me, and confident trust, relying on my sufficiency, is your strength. Oh, I need to get that. Let me read this again, because this is so important. I want you guys to get this. The basis, in quietness is spending time alone with me, and in confident trust is relying on my sufficiency. That is your strength, okay? Your strength comes from relying on my sufficiency and spending time alone with me. So, in quietness and confident trust is your strength. Bring me the sacrifice of thanksgiving. Take nothing for granted, not even the rising of the sun. Before Satan tempted Eve in the Garden of Eden, thankfulness was as natural as breathing. Satan's temptation involving pointing Eve to the one thing that was forbidden to her. The garden was filled with luscious, desirable fruits, but Eve focused on the one fruit she couldn't have, rather than being thankful for all the many good things that came freely available. Okay? This negative focus darkened her mind as she succumbed to temptation. Okay, so the garden was filled with all these desirable fruits. Any of them could have been fine, but she focused on the one she couldn't have. Okay, that negative focus darkened her mind and she succumbed to temptation. When you focus on what you don't have or on situations that displease you, your mind also becomes darkened. Just like that. Okay, so when you focus on what you don't have, or on situations that upset you, your mind also becomes darkened. You take for granted life, salvation, sunshine, flowers, and countless other gifts from me. You look for what is wrong and refuse to enjoy life until whatever it is fixed. When you approach me with thanksgiving, the light of my presence pours into you, transforming you through and through. When you approach me with thanksgiving, the light of my presence pours into you, transforming you. So walk in the light with me by practicing the discipline of thanksgiving. Okay. That's that spiritual time during the day. The how many hours did you spend in the spiritual realm? Were you thankful? Were you there? Did you feel a presence? Did you have some spiritual achievements today because of that? Okay, now moving on. I am the potter and you are my clay. I designed you before the foundation of the world. I arranged the events of each day to form you into the preconceived pattern. My everlasting love is at work in every event in your life. On some days you will find, on some days your will and mine flow smoothly together. You tend to feel in control of your life when our wills are in harmony. On other days, you feel as if you're swimming upstream against the current of my purposes. When that happens, stop and seek my face. When that happens, stop and seek my face. When what happens? When you feel like you're swimming upstream. When you feel like our souls aren't, or our wills aren't in harmony. But when our wills are in harmony, you tend to feel more in control, right? That's right. On other days, you feel as if you're swimming upstream against the current of my purposes. When that happens, stop and seek my face. The opposition you feel may be from me, or it may be from the evil one. Talk with me about it. Talk with me about what you're experiencing. Let my spirit guide you through the treacherous waters. Again, when that happens, let my spirit guide you through these treacherous waters. As you move through the turbulent stream with me, let circumstances mold you into the one I desired you to be. Say yes to your potter as you go through each day. I am with you and for you, your constant companion and provider. The question is whether are you with me and for me? Though I never leave you, you can essentially leave me by ignoring me, thinking or acting as if I am not with you. When you feel distant in our relationship, you know where the problem lies. My love for you is constant. I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. It is you who change like sifting sand, letting circumstances toss you this way and that way. So when you feel distant in our relationship, you know where the problem lies. Because my love for you is constant, okay? It is you who change like shifting sand, letting the circumstances toss you back and forth, okay? When you feel far from me, whisper my name. This simple act, done in childlike faith, opens your heart to my presence. Speak to me in love tones. Prepare to receive my love in return, which flows eternally from the cross. I am delighted when you open yourself to my loving presence. Dang, I'm delighted when you guys open yourself to my loving presence. And it lightens you guys up too. Yes, it does. Okay. What else do we have for you guys? Okay. So, the very essence of my words is truth, absolute and unchanging eternal truth. More and more people are falling for the lie that truth is either relative or non existent. They are too cynical or too wounded to see the things that are true, noble, right, pure, lovely, or admirable. They tend to focus on what is false, wrong, impure, and ugly. This hurtful focus leads many to despair and self destructive behavior. The God of this age has blinded the minds of unbelievers so that they cannot see the light of the gospel of my glory. The gospel radiates pure, powerful light that illuminates my glory, the wonder of who I am and what I have done. This good news has unlimited power to transform lives from despair into delight. Huh, Gabe? This good news has unlimited power to transform lives from despair into delight. All of my children, filled with my spirit, are well equipped to be light bearers, shining gospel brightness into the lives of others. I want you to join in this glorious venture using your gifts and the opportunities I provide. I know you are weak, but that fits my purposes perfectly. My power is most effective in your weakness. I know you are weak, but that fits my purposes perfectly because my power is most effective in your weakness. If you were strong, you wouldn't need me, right? You'd be fine. You'd be strong, right? But you have weakness, and I know you're weak. That's why it fits my purposes perfectly because my power is most effective in your weakness. I, the Lord, am your strength. On days when you're feeling strong, this truth may not speak powerfully to you. However, it is a lifeline full of encouragement and hope, and it is always available to you. It is a lifeline full of encouragement and hope, and is always available to you. Whenever you're feeling weak, your lack of strength can help you look to me and cling to this secure lifeline. You may call out to me at any time, Lord, save me. Let my unfailing love be your comfort. Again, let my unfailing love be your comfort. When you seem to be sinking in your struggles, it's crucial to hold on to something that will not fail you, something you can trust with your very life. My powerful presence not only strengthens you, it holds you close and does not let go. I have a firm grip on you now, beloved. Because I am always near, there is no need to fear being weak. In fact, my strength comes into its own in your weakness. The two fit together so perfectly. So thank me for your weaknesses, trusting in my ever present strength. Boy, I got more. Yeah, here we go. And all right, you guys. Yeah, we're at our 20. You guys have actually been here for this whole thing, so we're ready to go forward now and deeper. So let's go forward and deeper. Don't be afraid to face your sins. Except for me, there has never been a sinless person. So if you claim to be without sin, you deceive yourself and evade the truth. It's actually quite freeing to confess your sins, knowing that I will forgive you and purify you from all unrighteousness. The good news is that I have redeemed you, paid the full penalty for all of your sins. So when you confess your wrongdoings, you are aligning yourself with the truth. Since I myself am the truth, your confession draws you closer to me. It also sets you free from nagging guilt feelings. Okay? A lot of this is because it sets you free from nagging guilt feelings. That's why your confessions work, because they set you free from these nagging guilty feelings you've been having. When you confess them, they are no longer nagging or guilt. You have given them over to me. So I also set you free from nagging guilty feelings. When you realize you have sinned in your thoughts, words, or actions, admit it immediately. Your confession need not be lengthy or eloquent. It can be as simple as, "Forgive me and cleanse me, Lord. I have already done the hard part, dying on the cross for your sins. Your part is to live in the light of the truth. I, your Savior, am that light of the world. So let me teach you how to spend more of your time in the present. The future, as most people conceptualize it, does not really exist. When you gaze into your tomorrows, making predictions, you are simply exercising your imagination. I alone have access to what is not yet, because I am not limited by time. As you go step by step through each day, I unfurl the future before you. However, while you're moving forward through time, you never set foot on anything but the present moment. Recognizing the futility of gazing into the yet to come can set you free to live more fully in the present. Okay? Recognizing the futility of gazing into the future can set you free to live more fully in the present, because it's all about living in the present moment. Okay? Becoming free is a demanding process because your mind is accustomed to wandering into the future. I got to read that like 10 times because it's so simple that it's got to be confusing. And no one will understand it. Becoming free is a demanding process because your mind is accustomed to looking into the future. When you find yourself caught up in searching into the future, recognize that you are roaming in fantasy land. Again, when you're doing that, you're roaming in fantasy land. Awakening yourself to this truth helps you return to the present, where I eagerly await you, ready to enfold you in my unfailing love. Cool. Oh, it gets more complex from here on out. I think maybe we'll wrap it with that one. Now I got one more for you here. You guys are still sticking around. Some of you are here. Okay, good. Because when you are thankful, you worship me, when you are thankful, you worship me acceptably with reverence and awe. Thanksgiving is not just a holy celebration once a year. It's an attitude of the heart that produces joy. Thanksgiving is not a holiday. It's an attitude of the heart that produces joy. It is also a biblical command. You cannot worship me acceptably with an ungrateful heart. You may go through the motions, but your ingratitude will hold you back. Whenever you're struggling spiritually or emotionally, pause and check your thankfulness gauge. Okay? Write that down, thankfulness gauge. Because when you're struggling spiritually or emotionally, you need to pause and check your thankfulness gauge. If it's reading low, ask me to help you increase your level of gratefulness. Search for reasons to thank me. Jot them down if you like. Your perspective will gradually shift from focusing on all that is wrong to rejoicing in the things that are right. That's what your whole life has been about. Your perspective will gradually shift from focusing on what is wrong to rejoicing in what is right. So no matter what is happening, you can be joyful in God your Savior. Because my finished work on the cross, you have a glorious future that is guaranteed forever. So rejoice in this free gift of salvation for you and for all who trust me as Savior. Let your heart overflow with thankfulness, and I will fill you with my joy. Okay? Yeehaw! I sure love you guys. Let's get something else. Let's look at something else here real quick here. Mr. Gabe, I sent you some dots to look at in the comment section right about. I think it was this one. Maybe not. Anyways, one of these videos, you made a comment, and I put a bunch of comments on there for you, and I think you already saw it. But anyways, where's that? Let's go take a peek at something different now. Let's look at this angel for a minute here. Not that angel. That's a demon. All right. There we go. How about some sound here? Show you this one. This is an angel that was captured on my security cameras, and now I've run it through the filter here. So if you turn your head to the right about 45 degrees, you guys know your right from your left. So tilt your head to the right, 45 degrees. You can make out the head, the hair, the breasts. It's a female, the torso, the waist, the legs coming down here, a wing coming off here, a wing coming off over here. And we'll zoom in on this real quick because this one's nice and clear that you can. Okay, and this is an angel that was caught hovering in a shaft of light over this sleeping child down below here. So, zoom in on it again. Just excited that you can see it a lot clearer now because before it was kind of faint, and now with these filters I'm able to make these images pop a little bit more for you guys so you can see them. I'm sorry about the way I have to do it with the camera and the computer, but I don't have any other option. So, but I just wanted to bring this angel to you for a moment so you guys can see that this is real. This is security camera footage that's admissible as evidence in a court of law. So that's a legal angel, really. What you're looking at is real. It's not photoshopped. It can't be faked. It's actually on the security camera footage. It's electromagnetically imprinted on there. And beautiful little angel right there, kind of hovering over a sleeping child. An image to kind of bring you guys some peace. Okay, when you think about all this stuff and you look here, looking at this image, thinking of How about Jesus hovering over you as you sleep, securing you, just like this peaceful angel is guarding this kid while he sleeps? I don't know if you noticed, but back up in here, there's a face right here, an evil looking face here. I'll even play this video a tad bit more. Looking at right there is admissible as evidence in a court of law. See this evil face right back up in here? This thing is haunting around while the kid was sleeping, and the angel's right here protecting him. Beautiful, beautiful image. Real stuff, you guys. Should bring hope, peace, joy, a little bit, knowing that there's angels, guardian angels watching over you, protecting you. Security cameras, and now I've run it through the filter here. So I'll just go one more time, real quick. 5 degrees, you can make out the head, the hair, the breasts. It's a female, the torso, the waist, the legs coming down here, a wing coming off here, a wing coming off over here. And we'll zoom in on this real quick because this one's nice and clear that you can. That's a face. There's actually a little face with 2 eyes and nose. See the little face there? And this is an angel that was caught hovering in a shaft of light over this sleeping child down below here. Amazing stuff. Absolutely amazing. So thankful. So thankful for the sacrifice that Jesus did for us. Got a lot of other stuff here on my channel, but I think we might just close it out with that. And I ruined my other picture, didn't I? Bingo. It was this one, I believe.
Because I'm perplexed.
Yeah, and then after studying this video a little closer, apparently this wasn't a cloud structure. This was out by the moon. People have been capturing white object out by the moon. Well, this gentleman went and invested in a better quality camera so he could get it, so he could capture it. And during the video, he says, he's back. Like he's seen this face up there before. That's why he went and got a better camera, was to capture it better. So he'd seen it there several times, and he knew it was a face, and he referred to it as he, and he's back. So I think that'll be it for tonight. Where's the notes? I lost all my notes for today. It's been such a rough day. Actually, last night during our show, we live out in the sticks out here in Nevada. And the turnoff to our road, there's a little fire station. It's unmanned, but it's a like a utility fire station or whatever. And unfortunately, a teenage young man last night lost his life out by the fire station at the intersection by our house during last night's show. And come to find out, my son knew him. And then when he showed me the kid's picture, I actually knew him from the days of taking my kids to the skate park. So it's kind of sad, it kind of odd to have somebody die just at the corner of my street, way out here in the sticks. It's just odd that somebody we knew was going way too fast. Actually, if he hadn't hit the trees by the firehouse, he would have hit our house. So, unfortunately, we lost a teenage man in our community who was a good kid, well loved and well known. And it happened right down the street last night during the show, which is quite tragic. So, anyways, everybody pray for this family. I know some of you parents out there understand how it goes when a teenage kid loses his life. You can feel for the parents, right? And at this moment, I really would love to bring this image to the parents so it would bring them some relief. Don't you think that the parents of that teenage kid would find relief in knowing that his son is in good hands now. So do you see how important this stuff is and how it works and how it can bring hope and how the light of my face shining on you fills you to overflowing so it goes into other people's lives. You guys are all I have. All right. I need you guys to overflow into other people's lives. Please, you will find blessings in it, and so will the people that you do with. Okay, you guys are doing awesome. Keep working at being in the spiritual realm more and more each day. That means not so much in the physical realm. It doesn't mean being in fantasy land in the future. It means being in the moment with me sitting right next to you and knowing that and finding the peace in that. Because there's all kinds of stuff out in the world that's just bombarding you. Quit looking at all that other stuff. Quit looking at all that other stuff and focus and find that peace. Because it's a peace that will transcend the craziness in this world. You will see people losing their minds because they listen to the media too much without any of this as support. I don't even watch the news anymore because it's irritating. I know what they're doing. I see through it. You guys know what they're doing. You see through it. So don't let that stuff get you all flustered. If you do get off track, take a break, take a few deep breaths. If you can't access this image, look over to your right. I hold you by your right hand. I am sitting right next to you. Talk to me. Talk to me. It's for your own good. Okay? You hear yourself confessing things. All of a sudden, it frees your mind to be at peace. Okay? You guys are doing awesome. I see you making huge strides. Some of you making baby steps, some are making huge strides. You guys are doing well. Just keep the faith. Hang in there. I love you. I miss you. God bless you. And until my next show, I will be back. Wait. I gotta thank some people real quick. I wanted to thank Gabe for being here tonight, for surviving another day and making it to the show. Thank you, Gabe. Diana, bless you, sweetie. We'll get together in Reno and have coffee or something. How about that? Oh, Cindy, I'd like to say I love you, darling. My chat thing is not working, so I'm just kind of going by memory. Leslie, I think, was here. Jimmy Satterfield's always here. Whoa. All right. Sorry, I'm just kind of looking. Where's the Lord Dragon the Red? Welcome to the channel, Lord Dragon the Red. Oh, I can't wait to go through this chat later on once this uploads. Some of the comments I want to get to you guys and answer questions and stuff. YouTube won't let me get to the comments in the chat until a couple of days down the line, and I have to go by memory while I'm doing the show. So yeah, just keep going one day at a time, one moment at a time, and be in each moment. Quit tripping on the future, be in the moment. Okay. So I love you all. I think that's it for tonight. I miss you all. Until my next show, I will be back. Those aren't Arnie's famous lines, those are his famous lines. I will be back. I will be back. In fact, I am already back. And you guys are my family. Bless you. Until my next show, Bye. Is it going to really stop?